Welcome one, welcome all once again to the X-Lair. This is Dr. Remy LeBeau, in case you didn't know. I'm here presenting to you a very special custom piece, a custom statue of the Bowen Designs Logan bust. The Logan bust was produced a few years ago. It's a very unique bust, and you can see here from the waist up, this is exactly the bust that was produced. Um, I, as well as many other collectors, love the bust, but me, like many other collectors, have chosen only to buy full size statues. If I were to buy all the full size statues and all the busts that are produced, I would go completely broke, and then you would see me out in like an alleyway, totally dirty, stinky, with my feces all over me. Of course, with my statue collection surrounding me and completely dusted, but me just a complete mess and kind of, you know, um, in need of help. So, given that that could potentially happen if I were to engage in bust collecting, I choose not to do that. When this bust was put up for sale, I fell in love with it. I really love it. I think it's like a really great bust. Like, here you have Logan. He's got this tough look on his face. Look, Mamefs, you're gonna screw with me. I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna run your school. One of the two. And he's all shot up, and you can see like his adamantium skeleton under his skin. It's a really great idea and a really great execution. It looks fantastic, and so I wanted it, but given my limitations, I didn't go for it. Fortunately, there was another collector. His name's Jason. His forum name, forum being like statueforum.com or statuemarvels.com, the two like main statue message boards. Uh, on those boards, his handle is Dead Eyes something. Um, he decided he was actually going to take one of these busts and get it converted into a full size statue, which he did. Um, and this is the result. This is the end result. It's like a very, very well done full size statue conversion. But for some reason, after having done it, he decided that he wanted to sort of trim down his collection, and he decided to get rid of it. Fortunately, he gave me first dibs on it, and I immediately jumped on it because I remember when he conceived of the idea and actually got it done. I was like super excited about it and very envious that I wasn't doing it myself, or I wasn't going to have the statue in my collection. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, yes, give it to me. I want the full size Logan statue. You must give it to me. So he did, at a price, which was a reasonable price, which is the price I think he paid for the bust plus the conversion work. So it was all very reasonable. Um, so the guy that actually did this, I've linked to his own blog on my blog post, so you can scroll down and find his info if you're interested. I don't exactly know his name, but I know his forum handle is like Nimanajed or something. I'm just gonna call him Nimanajed, even though that's probably not how you pronounce it, and I probably look like a complete fool to him if he were to ever to hear me say it, his name in that way. But that's how I'm going to refer to him in this video because that's the best I can do. So Nimanajed is like this amazing sculptor who does a lot of custom jobs, converting statues into full size statues, converting statues that are of one version of a character into another version of a character, and like the work he does is just like phenomenal. Like usually the end product is like incredible. Um, and the guy lives in France. He's a Frenchman. Bonjour, Nemanejed. J'adore votre travail. Je crois qu'il est parfait. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. That's as much French as I can do right now. I'm sure the French uh, followers of my videos and my blog are just kind of laughing to yourselves. And c'est vrai. It's true. Mon français est ce n'est pas bon. Anyway, let's get the French aside and continue talking about Nemanjad, who's French. He does incredible work, and he's super efficient and gets things done really quickly and precisely. Like all the work I've seen of his is really well done and very well detailed, and the end product is usually perfect, and it's usually fairly quick too. So I don't know how this guy has the time to do this, but he does, and he has incredible talent, and I'm so happy that he's available out there for people to utilize to create, unique statue works, for our illustrious collections that we adore. Maybe too much, maybe not enough. It's a point of contention. Anyway, so Jason Deadeyes commissioned Nemanja to sculpt the statue into a full-size statue. He sent him the bust. Nemanja sculpted the legs and actually made a base as well. You can see the base here. The base is actually very light. It's almost like a foamy kind of material, and I think the reason for that is because of the shipping costs. We're shipping overseas. If you're doing this in the U.S. or in North America, or in South America or Central America, in a continent other than Europe, like shipping costs can be a lot. So I think that's why the material is light, and it's a smart choice on behalf of Nemanja, as far as just keeping down the shipping costs and keeping down overall costs of these conversions. But it's still impressive, and I think like these like the claw marks on the front of it that you can see here are actually reminiscent of the actual base for the Logan bust, the original Logan bust. So it's actually like a really nice touch that unifies this with the original piece, which is lovely. Nemanja is just incredible. He sculpted the base. He did a really interesting sort of design with the X base. It looks kind of like industrial. It's got a really interesting quality to it. It's obviously his own creation. It's very unique. It just reflects how talented the guy is and how much thought he puts into the work he does. And then of course he sculpted the boots, which are wonderful. They're just cowboy boots. They look great. And then he sculpted the jeans over, like, obviously they're tight jeans, and you can see like his butt and his legs. Like you can see like the musculature of his physique under the legs. So it wasn't just like he's gonna do like straight like loose pant legs and just kind of be quick and easy about it. He actually took the time to properly plan out not just the jeans and the wrinkles in it, but actually the physique below it. And then you can see like the rips. Like here's a rip in the jeans here. Here's a rip in the knee. I mean, all of it just like is so well done. Like the creases in the jeans, the creases, like the buttons, all of it. And actually, I don't know if the belt with like the American Indian belt buckle was his. It might be part of the original bust. It also might not be. I don't quite remember. But either way, it's a really well done, and the sort of the unifying of the original bust to the newly sculpted pieces, like the bottom part of the body, is sort of seamless. Like you can't really notice like where the original starts and where the new parts begin, and that again is a testament to how talented and artful and skillful the guy is. He's just a super talented and skillful dude, and I'm so happy that he does this kind of work. But he didn't actually paint the bottom part of the statue. So once he was done sculpting all these great elements and just sort of unifying this into one piece, then it was sent over to New York, where Robert Guthrie, the guy that did the X4 Psylocke for me and a couple other pieces I'll feature in the future, he actually painted the bottom of the statue as well as the base, and he actually did a really great job as well. Like again, you can't tell that. I mean, it just looks like a professionally done painted statue, because both of these guys are professional and very talented, and they tend to do exceptional work. So Robert Guthrie wound up like doing a great paint job on the base and kind of just finally completing it into what you see here today, which is what could potentially just be a normally produced statue, like not a custom piece, just a statue that was produced by Bowen Designs. One thing that's really sort of significant about this piece and the fact that it was converted from a bust into a full-size statue is that it reflects what could potentially be done with a lot of the busts that have been produced by Bowen Designs. a lot of the times, actually, not a lot of the times, but some of the times, um, the busts of particular characters wind up looking better than the full size statues that are produced. So there's just a lot of potential for conversions from the busts that have been produced by Bowen Designs. And actually, it might actually be a good idea for them themselves to actually, take some of the busts that they've made and convert them into full size statues, because I think a lot of collectors would really sort of be welcoming of that and would respond to it positively by buying them up as quickly as possible. I know I would. One standout bust that I can think of is the Cable bust that was produced by Bowen Designs. I like all the Cable statues that have been produced, like the recent action versions and like the two original Cable statues, Cable and the Sentinel head. Those are great. But for some reason, I really like the bust of Cable that they produce so much better. Like there's something about it that just, I don't know. It just kind of captures the character perfectly. Like I don't know. There's something about it. Nimanajed from France, who did this statue, actually converted that one into a full size statue for somebody, and it turned out amazing. Like it just looks great, and so that's one of the pieces that I think if Bowen Designs were to release it as a full size statue, professionally produced, mass produced, I think it would sell without any problems, and I think people would love it. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential there for expansion of the Bowen business if they choose to go down that road, which they don't necessarily have to. I'm just a guy online talking about what may or may not be done. Obviously, I have no pull here, but if somebody were to have Randy Bowen's ear, it would be cool to have him think about that as a possible sort of avenue for producing more stuff through their awesome company for us ravenous fans. Another set that came out recently that I thought actually looked better than the full-size statues is the original 5 X-Men bust set. I guess what made it better was the Kujarek brothers sculpted all of them because they're amazing and everything they do is great. And I guess what's most important is that it was just them that sculpted them, and so they sort of took care to make them all sort of work together perfectly. The full-size statues that are being produced by Bowen Designs of the original 5 X-Men are great. I have no complaints about them. I love them. So far we have Angel, Marvel Girl, and Cyclops. I have original Iceman and original Beast on the way. They've been put up for pre-sale a while back, so they're in the pipeline. But as a set, I mean, they work great, but they're just not quite as good as the busts. I think the busts look better. Again, I love the full-size statues. I'm never going to get rid of them. I'm very happy to have them, but I wish like the busts had been the full-size statues. So it would be lovely at some point in the very distant future for me to get that bust set and turn them into full-size statues. I think that would wind up being like a really cool sort of set in and of itself. Of course, again, one last time, I'd like to emphasize that I really love the full-size statues of the original 5 X-Men that have been produced, and I look forward to having it complete and sharing it with you guys via photos and video. That's definitely coming up. A few last thoughts on this statue. What's really great about this Logan bust / statue now is that it fits in anywhere as far as like displays. Like it could be the modern X-Men, it could be the X-Men of the 90s, the 80s, whatever. I mean, Logan himself hasn't really changed too much when he's in his street clothes, so you could actually position this statue in a variety of places. I actually wound up putting him in a Detolf, however you want to pronounce it, glass case, just because I feel like it's a unique piece and it is a one of a kind. So I feel like I need to protect it just slightly more. And I have it displayed with the like the Frank Miller Wolverine limited series, like the 4-issue limited series of the 80s. I think it's issue either number 1 or number 2. Where you have Wolverine with the 3 claws and he's just like kind of smiling. Together, this and that comic like work really well as a display. I'll show that to you guys at some point. I'm going to do some more snapshots of display, and eventually I'll do a full display video, like edited, and I want to do something special with that, but I'm not going to do that yet. That's the sort of thing that's going to require a lot of time and planning, and it will be done in the future. But look forward for that to that. And that basically covers this statue. It's a great custom piece. Again, it's a one of a kind. I'm really happy to have it. But if one of you wanted to get it done, in the exact same way, I'm sure Nimanajed would be happy to do it. Just contact him through his blog. I'm sure he's backed up because he seems to always be producing stuff. So I'm thinking like people are commissioning him and are lined up to get him to do work. So it's the sort of thing where it might take time to actually get him to get to whatever project you'd like him to do. But I think it's worth waiting for him because he definitely does a great job. Like I said before in other videos, like Vince Vale, John Fitchie, who did my Banshee statue, is an amazing sculptor, and he works here in the U.S. So there's obviously a variety of these sorts of talented individuals available for people that are interested in creating unique pieces, unique custom pieces. I'm just focusing on this statue, so I'm throwing out the fact that Nimanajed in France is a great option, and you guys should look into hiring him if you're interested in doing something unique and getting like a really great quality final product from it. All right, folks. Well, that concludes this video. As usual, X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Thank you so much for checking it out. Thank you so much for checking out my blog. And I have plenty more stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.